Do you know that there are three ways and three things that you can do to sell your house? Three ways. So everybody's different. Those three ways are visual, technical, and emotional. So let's go into them a little bit and let's talk about them. So, what do I mean when I say visual? So, in selling your house, it really is visual. They tell us that there's a high percentage, like 70% or better, that buy a house on the curb appeal alone. So the landscaping, the front of the house, are the trash cans put away? Or are they out on the street? The curb appeal itself is a great place to start. So it's visual. When you first step through the door of the house, what's there? Is it tight? Is it an open area? Do you get to, the expanse of the house? Does it look really clean? Does it look really sharp? Those types of things, so visually, as you walk into a house, it really does help sell the house. So curb appeal, the front entryway, they talk in the staging part of it about cleaning and decluttering stuff. You want to make the house look like somebody could come in and live in it, rather than looking like having somebody come in and look at the house thinking that they are a guest. They're intruding. It's your house. It's your family portrait wall. All those types of things. So you want to be able to have things clean, decluttered. Don't sterilize things as far as, still live in it. But, instead of having the whole wall of all the ancestry hanging on the wall, maybe you have a picture of grandma and grandpa, stuff like that. So, and then even on that kind of cycle and scale, I'm going to throw in there visual, in the visual set category too, are animals. And animals typically are going to be more done and sensed with the nose. But if you go in and, people are looking and here's a bathroom and it's got a massive, litter box sitting there, then it's like, it takes away from people and the ambiance of, ambiance is really a bad word for the bathroom right there, but you know what I'm saying. It just takes away. It clutters it up. It makes it look smaller because there's stuff in it. And then, with animals, they smell. Dogs, cats, they have an odor to them. Fish tanks have an odor to them. And it really is an important thing. So number one was visual. Make things really clean, crisp, curb appeal, entryway, declutter, all those types of things. And in that, let's talk a little bit where we're going into this. Let's talk about, what do you do? I get asked all the time, what do I do to increase the value of my home? Go to the visual. Yes, putting, quadruple pane, 100% insulated windows on the house has a great cost savings. But from a visual perspective, when somebody's buying, they're looking at visual, so that window is going to, the single pane from the 1960s is going to look a little different than a double pane window, but the reality is, from a visual standpoint, from the buyer's standpoint, it's not going to translate into some kind of value. You move into a kitchen and you take off the Formica countertop or laminate countertop or tile countertop and replace it with a quartz or a solid surface or a granite or something like that. Again, that's visual, and it says that to that buyer, it says, hey, guess what? They've done some upgrades. They've done some quality upgrades. So that translates back into the price. new carpet, new paint, kind of the same type of a thing, you know. So anyway, so as you do upgrades to your house, think about the visual side of things. Uh, you know, my house is in that category where it's time for the shingles, right? And so but the shingles are visual. You can walk up to a house, and if it looks, you look on the roof line and with asphalt shingles, and you see shiny shingles that, you know, look like they're wet or they've got ice on them, they're worn, and which means that they're going to have to be replaced in the next year or two. So just something to stick in there as you know, upgrade your house. So look at the visual. So first category, visual. It's very visual. The second category that a lot of people look at is the technical side. And then technical side is, you know, lights flashing, like we're seeing now. You know, here we go. Glad you guys can hang in there with me. Anyway, so technical people, a lot of people that are technical people, they look at things, your square footage, your, you know, how big is the yard, is, you know, how many, you know, is a quarter acre, third of an acre, whatever that way. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, it's how, you know, how big is the garage, you know, what's the square footage of everything. That's the technical type of a person. So again, as you're selling your house, you want to be able to have the visual side. You want to be able to have the technical side too, for those people, because there are, you know, things and people that do that. Some people, you know, go right to the technical part of it, and they really aren't looking at the pictures. They're not looking at the upgrades. So you've got the people that, so as we sell your house, visually it's important, technically it's important, but the one that most people miss, in my opinion, is the emotion side of things. And that emotion comes in telling the story. You know, you get to a house and, you know, hey, this is my mom's home. We're selling my mom's home. As a little girl, I remember roller skating for hours on the driveway because the driveway is so long. I could go out there and just do all kinds of stuff. Or, you know, this is where our children were all raised. Or, you know, this house the basement wasn't finished, and we built the basement out and finished it. You know, we did it ourselves. Those types of things are the emotion side of it. You know, we planted our tree. I was doing some things on my deck last summer, and my daughter was like, "Hey, wait! You know, she had a couple of toads that passed away, and we buried them out there underneath the deck." And it was like, she's like, "Did that disturb anything?" And I'm like, no. But anyway, that's a whole another can of worms. Anyway, so the emotion part of it, though, is in there and kind of built in. And a lot of those interact with one another. So you go in, you walk into a house, you walk up to a house, the front of the house, the curb appeal looks great. You walk up to the front door and you open the front door, and then you can see all the way through the house, and you can see into, you know, the backyard, or you walk out into the backyard and you've got a view across the valley. You know, if any of those types of things that you can accent and really heighten people in their senses that way, to the visual, and make it emotional, because, you know, if they come out and they see this grand view clear across the valley, or the mountains up there, or a lake, they sit there and they're going to look at it and they're going to go, wow, that is just amazing. And then it's going to make an emotional statement as well as a visual statement, so that way they will remember your house and they'll want to purchase your house because they really enjoyed the emotions that came from the house and how pretty it is. So bottom line here is, when you're selling your house, you really need to focus on the three areas there: visual, technical, and emotional. And if you do that, that'll really help you sell your house. If you struggle with that, contact me. I'll be happy to help you. and we can get that done, because that's how I focus and do things on the people that I help sell their homes.